Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. So let me introduce myself. Thanks for joining to RPA Virtual Denver Chapter. So this is the first time we are hosting for this Denver Chapter, and we are going virtual. And in coming days, we might switch to like if we can, based on the situations, we might go to in person as well. So thanks for joining one more time. So let me introduce myself. This is Sai. Uh, my full name is Sai Deepak. I go by Sai. I'm working at Arrow Electronics as a RPA applications engineer, and so I'm the organizer as well. So I have close to 7+ years of IT experience in that. Out of that, 5+ years of exclusive RPA industry experience. So that's what my background is. From last 3+ years, I'm working exclusively with UiPath tool, and I'm really impressed with the way the UiPath brought up its own products in the RPA industry, and it's a revolution. So I really leveraged UiPath in my company. I trained many people and automated a lot of applications, lot of process as this process. So really like it's a I'm taking a lot of advantage of UiPath. And thanks for joining one more time. So let I want my friend Gabriel from Argentina want to introduce. So go ahead, Gabriel.
Thank you, Sai. Well, I'm Gabriel Marin. I'm from Argentina. I work as an RPA instructor, and this year I have the honor to be part of UiPath community MVPs. So I'm supporting the community locally in Buenos Aires and also in Americas. So I want to, I really like to share my experience working with automation solutions. I've been working with solutions related to business automation for, I think, like 10 years, and the last 4 years working with UiPath. So, and I really like to teach. So, well, these kind of events are my opportunity to share with you part of that. I hope you enjoy it.
Perfect. Thank you. So Diana, please.
Sure. I'm Diana Gray. I'm the America Community Manager for UiPath. And I just want to really welcome you today. Thank you for joining the Denver chapter. This is our first meeting, and we have a great session today to bring you up to speed, and we're hoping you interact with us so that we can get to know you and find out what topics and things you're interested in us presenting at this chapter in the future. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, Nick. How are you?
Doing good.
Awesome.
I'm here because I just learned about UiPath like in February of this year, and my company gave me access to an enterprise account, so I can start up and run the robots. And I'm just learning and making robots.
That's good to know that. Where are you from, Nick, and which company are you working for?
I am from Denver, and I'm working for a title company called Land Title.
Okay, that's great. I'm from Denver too. So I'm living in south part of Denver. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's great. Good to know that, Nick. So without delay, let's get started, guys. So let me share my screen and give me a second. Okay, so let me know if everybody is able to see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get started, guys. So we already have. So what is Denver chapter? So introduction, everything. Let's move on. So right now, since we are out of COVID, so we want to start with like virtual, and in later once we find a lot of UiPath RPA like people, interested people, so we can start online offline meetings as well. So this is to share. This meeting is all about to share experiences in the RPA industry, to know about like more details about UiPath latest products. If you like any particular product about UiPath, and learn together challenges, and we can discuss about the challenges you face, and how can we help us to resolve your challenges, and we can also share our feedback to the UiPath community, so that we can get to learn from their experiences, so that everybody will be happy. Okay, and we can build components, projects together, and discuss automation ideas, and different kind of UiPath products and new features that UiPath releases every other month, right? So we can get to learn more about this in the UiPath in the community chapters. So okay, and so these are the organizers for this Denver chapter, and we already have the brief introduction about each other. So the agent, so like we already had the introduction about the attendees. Thanks, Nick, for sharing your introduction and experience. So let's get started with about what is RPA. So a lot of people, like today in today's world, sometimes they don't know, they don't understand the real like term what is RPA. Okay, let's
Sorry, Sai, we are
yeah.
not seeing the presentation. I
Oh,
think you shared the other screen.
okay, man, my bad. Sorry. Let me share. Sorry. Now,
Yes,
perfect. Sounds
now we
good.
do.
Thanks, Gabriel. For sorry for that. I was thinking that I'm sharing my screen and talking. Okay. Thank you. And let's as I mentioned, let's um, like look into this video to talk about what's RPA. So where we can use it and how can we leverage it. Okay. Let's see a small video about RPA. I think let me share one more time. I need to share the audio as well. Give me a second, guys. Sorry for that. Yeah.
This is the story of work. It started a long time ago on a Monday, which was handy. For as
Sorry,
long as
Sai, we are seeing the other screen.
Oh, still you're seeing other screen?
Yes.
My bad. So it is going to the default screen. My bad. Sorry. Now,
Yes. Now
perfect.
we do.
needed to work. They wanted to work, to grow things and create things and build things, to see what they were capable of, to stand at day's end and say, I did that, which felt pretty good. So they worked more, built more, and created more, and traveled to far-off places. And then someone suggested submitting expense reports for those far-off places. His name was Glenn, and he was well, you know. Anyway, the people kept getting better at work. They built better tools to work more efficiently. They built amazing machines to work faster. They built computers to work smarter. But still, they couldn't do enough work. Because during all that work to do more work, they had created work, and not the good kind. Not the let's sit around and come up with ideas kind. Not the I can't wait to get to work so I can jump into a new project kind.
The unpleasant kind. The drudge and data and admin and the doggone expense reports.
So the humans had to work more at work they didn't like. That made them robotic. That didn't inspire. They had to postpone vacations. They had to miss family dinners.
They were miffed.
And then something happened. Someone had a really amazing idea. They came into work and said, stop working and start working. The humans thought she might have had wine at lunch, so she showed them a way to put the fun back into work, to waste less time doing the things they hated, to make more efficient the big tasks, to stop making the humans act like robots and start teaching the robots to learn the humans. Not to replace people, but to free them. Even Glenn. Robots that learn you. Imagine the potential, like starting over, to help us remember again that work only really works when we're happy at it.
Wow. Yeah. So let me give a sample, like a nice example, so that you will understand what is RPA. How can we leverage it? Okay, let's take an example of a person called Sam. Okay, he gets emails every day, like PDFs. Okay, and his work is to, like, it contains the invoices and purchase orders and everything. He has to extract the purchase order number, like cost of the item and everything, and update in an Excel sheet every day. And at the end of the day, end of the work, he has to send an email to his boss saying that, okay, these are the purchase orders we received, this is the cost of the item, and this is the net profit. Okay, so to do a manual task for the Sam, it is taking around 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so, like, what if Sam goes on a vacation? Who will take care of that work? So the other person has to take the Sam's work and do it, and which is taking a lot of time taking, right? So for that, let's with the same example, how can this RPA using UiPath can help us to automate the same task? Okay, that's what the RPA is all about. So to automate, to save time, the what is that? The structured process. What is the structured process here? Like reading the email, extracting the details from PDF, and copying the data into the Excel sheet, and sending an email at the end of the day to the manager, like pasting that Excel sheet. So that's what the RPA is all about, to help us to save a lot of time when we guide a proper step-by-step procedure. Okay, let's understand what is RPA is all about. Okay, so the term RPA is robotic process automation, is a software technology that makes it easy to build, deploy, and manage software robots that emulate humans' actions interacting with the digital systems and software. So what I meant is, so what are the tasks that we are doing on a daily basis? So we built robots to automate the same exact actions we are doing manually, so that to save a lot of time, and so that people can invest their valuable time in the other productive tasks, so that bots will take care of our daily task, which we are doing on a daily basis. Just like people, so robots also can do the things which we do, but we need to instruct what we are doing, the as is process, which is like manual, rule based, and repetitive process. It should be a like a step by step process. It can't under like a lot of people have a wrong assumption that RPA is RPA is not equal to AI. Okay, RPA is just like how we are doing manual actions. It exactly replicates the same. If we instruct, it will do. It won't take a independent decision while doing an action. Okay, it's like a rule based repetitive task. So the what rules we instruct to the bot, it will take the same thing. Okay, like for example, data entry, Excel automation, like extracting the details from Excel, like for example, infra, in terms of, if you take the idea like infra work, like creating a user, giving access to a particular application. So a lot of HR related things, like Oracle, SAP, Giant application, which we do, which we interact on a daily basis, it will automate. Okay, so that's some of the like useful uses of RPA. So what is RPA and everything? Let's go to the next, move on to the next slide. So, so I just continuing the same thing. So robotic process automation, just to expand each term. So robotic, software robots mimicking human actions, process, a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular task. Okay, and automation describes technology that reduce human intervention in process. That's all the full form of RPA, robotic process automation, in detail if you want to take. Okay, and as I explained, so what can we do? So what RPA can do? Okay, like keyboard actions, what we type, it can do that. What mouse clicks, like for example, if I want to click an app, if I want to go to amazon.com to purchase an item, so we go to Amazon and click some item, right? So it can take the mouse clicks and actions as well. It can read the screen. For example, if we want to like we are copying some information from one screen, from one application to and into other application, we can copy that data as well. Means reading the screen, copying the data, like data extraction. So and like pasting into a different application, we can do that. Okay, so like voice inputs, like for example, if somebody wants to give an input, okay, for okay, let's um, I want to know what is the price of this particular PO. We can give an input as well. So purchase number, at the end we'll get the input if we instruct. So how we are doing, we'll go through a database, we'll run a query, get the details and paste, right? So these are some of the interactions can RPA do. A lot of actions we can do. For example, if you can call an API. So if you the APIs are the trending, so where we can interact with multiple applications, multiple interfaces. So we can call an API, we can do that. We can interact with the different applications like Jira, Salesforce, SAP, Oracle. You name an application, bot can do it. Even if bot can go to a Citrix application and interact with that. Okay, and so that is some I wanted to talk about. So to expand, that's what I like in the beginning. I talked about desktop web tools like web application, Citrix. I talked about rule-based process like email, text. Uh, if you name it, Excel, scrapping the data, moving files from one folder to other folder, from one system to other folder, like extracting information from documents, PDFs, emails, forms, and log into a particular application, database operation, Excel operation. You can do calculations too, and for example. Uh, on a daily basis, if you want to calculate some uh, purchases for some items, you can calculate using a particular formula. That's what you do in a manual, right? We can do that using the bot as well. So you can it's just like what the human do on a daily basis. We can interact. We can use RPA. We can use UiPath to do all those functionalities. So that's what the like if you talk about in depth about what are the users and how UiPath, we can leverage UiPath to do our normal task on a daily basis. Okay, so I was talking about uh, like the importance of UiPath. So if you go to uipath.com, you will see UiPath has its own 18 own products. Okay, so from discovery to from monitoring, there are different phases, right? In an like any automation industry, like to understand that the discovery phase, whether we can automate that process or not, to the monitoring after deploying the bots into production, the monitoring part. So there are a lot of steps. So UiPath has its own own product for if you take each category from discovery phase. If you want automation hub, okay, process mining, so different discovery phase in monitoring. So and development, you can use Studio X, Studio Pro based on the level where we are from. For example, if you are a citizen developer, like we don't know much about coding or anything, we can start with Studio X, and later once we get used to it, we can go to Studio. Once we become pro with our own coding skills, we can go to Studio Pro, where we can leverage a lot of test automation skills and a lot of a lot of other features in the Studio Pro. So that's what. So like for example, if you see this slide, cognitive process. So we can add the AI skills, but RPA and AI are different. But we can add AI skills to existing bots. But both are different. If you take individual functionalities, RPA and AI both are different. But if you but we can leverage AI and adding to our existing bot, we can make it as cognitive. That's what we call intelligent automation processing. So, so for example, if you see in this slide, RPA is like reading, write database, scraping data, capture tasks, log into applications. That's what we do on a normal basis because we instruct, because we know how to do that. But for if you see AI, let's take an example of chatbots. If you go to any website these days, any particular application, any e-commerce or any service-based companies, there is a pop-up coming on the right bottom saying that help, right? So when we click on that, when we ask for okay, how can we talk to agent? Okay, can you track my order? So it will understand based on our message. That is AI. That is a chatbot. It understands and it will change the vocabulary like a machine. It uses the machine learning capabilities and gets the output for us. But RPA is not like that. So RPA is like, for example, if we ask to go to particular Excel sheet in a particular folder, get the data and look for each row and extract that each row data and go to the particular application and paste it to get the information, it will do, but it will not understand if something goes wrong. But we can add this AI cognitive skills into RPA. But when we take both in a separate, like separate, it will be different. So that's what we want to talk about. So the difference between RPA and AI. So and like as I mentioned, UiPath, like when compared to other tools, UiPath has a lot of why UiPath. Yes, it has its own products, and we can leverage each product from discovery to monitoring and leverage our. We can automate our own applications that we are doing on a daily basis. So let's move on to the next one. So let's take a small example. Okay, so that's already this is like to get more. The reason why we mention the more details about this, because a lot of people will have question. Okay, how can RPA works? Okay, how can it what are the things it can do? That's the reason we want to add more details. What is RPA? How can we leverage UiPath? What actions it can do? So any automating a very basic repetitive task, okay, like a account creation, log into a particular application, reading an Excel sheet, extract the data from PDF, email operation, just sending an email. Think about if you want to send a particular email on a particular day, you can do it with a particular format. So we can do database operations, like how we are querying a particular, for example, if you want some data from our database, we just write a query, right, manually. But bot can do it also along Excel automation. It can calculate everything. So that's what I want to talk about. The what is the basics of the RPA? Like what is UiPath? How can we leverage UiPath to automate our task in our industry, which we are doing on a daily basis. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I want to pass it on to my dear friend from Argentina, Gabriel, to talk about the next topics. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sai.
Yeah, let me stop sharing. Yeah, take care. Yeah.
While I'm sharing my screen, please let me know if you can see it. Okay, you can
Yes,
see that,
that
right?
looks good.
Great. So continue with the presentation. Some definitions that we have to or do we want to include is that we can create different kind of robots. When working with RPA, you may ask, what is the result of my work? And this is the result of your work: attended or hybrid robots. And what is it? What is this? Unattended are kind of robot that executes processes in the background, normally in a server with no human intervention. Attended are robot processes that are triggered by a human and may interact with that person, with that user. There is no better than the other. The two types of robots are good depending on the situation, depending on the needs of that specific department, of that specific user. It is part of the discover phase to define what is the best type of robot for that situation. And hybrid robots, it is a more complex kind of robot that combines these two. And what are the business benefits of RPA? Well, there are many. We can mention many of them. You have You have them enumerated here in the presentation, and we can point on some of them, like cost saving is one. I think it is not the most important one. Greater resilience, it is very important for today's companies, and digital transformation is about this, that having the right speed and at the right moment, and RPA gives that to to different to organizations in general. And also the employee part. This part is very important. We are seeing the great resignation, and we are seeing employees struggling with a lot with different things. So empowering employees is a very important thing to do, and RPA can do that, can empower people, can empower employees, professionals, to eliminate routinary repetitive tasks, to help them to to build their own robots, even, because as I mentioned, those are the citizen developers, the non-IT developers that learn how to make robots, and we are seeing that and it is a great thing, and also to have this kind of tools implemented in the company in order to help the employees, and that is something important for talent retention. It's very important. Well, I am sorry. I think it's not okay. Where can RPA be used? Well, RPA can be used in all kind of companies. That's the answer. I say that RPA can be used in all size of companies, from small to large companies, and also cross company to different departments. I can't mention a department that is not suitable to use RPA. So this is why it is growing so much, because the need is everywhere, in every department, and we see that when talking with customer, with students, with people that is related to this kind of solutions. And what features are important in RPA technology? Well, here we can talk not only specific about technologies, because from my opinion, I think that RPA is not only one technology, it's a combination of technologies. As I mentioned before, well, we talk a lot about AI, but not also AI. Before that, RPA tools combine a lot of technologies related to data integration, UI automation, and also basic machine learning skills. Well, a lot of technologies combined in order to give you a powerful tool for automating processes and the different tasks that the user have to perform in his work. But an important thing to point is that you have to select the right solution, a solution that has this tool, and also a platform, a easy to use platform, a platform that gives you a vision of growth if your company is now just starting, and in the near future maybe it will have tens or hundreds of robots. And even if you're not in that situation, you are thinking only about one or two, it is important to have the right tools combined together. And other question is, why is the RPA the fastest growing enterprise software in the world? This is a, a impressive definition. Yes. And well, there are many factors that are making this possible, that make that we can see that in the market. One of them is return of investment. Other is no disruption to underlying system. When talking about software development, there are many ways to implement a software solution that can automate tasks. But when talking specifically about RPA, you can combine together or interact with many systems with no invasive, in a non-invasive way. So it is easy to implement solution without asking the other system owners to change things. Maybe it is a best practice to try that in some ways, but anyway, you can do it if there are no collaboration or there are no hands to work in that specific needs to change something from the other side. So that is a very important thing. If you are seeing systems areas that everybody is working hard, nobody has time, so it is difficult to have the necessary collaboration to implement solutions. So this is very, very important. And also is scalable. So as we mentioned, if we have the right solution with the right platform, it is easy to scale RPA implementations. Sorry, I got the synchronization issue between the screens. Well, I mentioned this before about AI. Is RPA the same as artificial intelligence? Well, the answer is simple. No, it's not the same. But they can be. You can combine these two technologies of these two groups of technologies. So to illustrate this, it's like you have a robot. If you think of a physical robot, you will think of arms, legs, and also a head. Well, taking that to the intangible software area, you can say that RPA robots have powerful arms and legs because you can go everywhere to any kind of system. But also you have a head, a built-in head that can that can process information, analyze information to some level. But beyond that level, you can make use of AI as part of a platform, as part of cloud cognitive services provided by UiPath or by other providers, because we have a lot of cognitive services, and this is growing also a lot. So you have that possibility to use AI skills from UiPath, from Google, from Azure. So that robot will have the enough intelligence to solve your automation processes. How do you get started with RPA, and how do you scale it? Very important question. UiPath platform is divided in 5 phases. Now we are seeing in this particular slide 3 steps. But just to mention, these phases that UiPath described is discover, build, manage, run, and engage. Here, it is focused on the first part that is crucial, that is discover or discovery part. So to get started, discovering the needs and the benefits of the use of RPA in your company, it's crucial. You have to be intelligent also on what the needs you will choose to start. So it is very important also to highlight on those that are quick wins. Not because we want to just to stay in the easy processes, not for that, because that way you can grow and have more support from higher levels in your organization. So if you show results, you will have more budget, more support to now start working with harder processes. So this is an important thing to as an scaling strategy. And also it is very important to have the right building process and managing process. So that way you can do the right work in the step 2, in scaling across the enterprise. Working right, working in a well, respecting that best practices, with a look of growth in terms of development, of collaboration, and finally transforming the business. And this third part is cyclical, so it's not a sequence. We here have a circle, so this is continuous. So transforming the business depends depends on that, on maintaining your processes, monitoring those processes. So what you've done, you want to keep running, and to continue working, to continue discovering, continue proposing ideas, and discovering needs. What about the different RPA platform tools? Well, there are many. 3 of them are the most important now: UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism. Also, Microsoft, as a big vendor, has also an RPA solution. And other ones, also there are others from the open source hand, like Robocorp, or here in this part of the continent also, some companies work with open source or internal libraries made in Python. But here we will talk about UiPath and its main 3 components. So what are them? First of all, the Studio is the tool that enables us to develop our processes, the bot creator. Orchestrator, the tool that makes possible to manage all the processes, all the robots, and to scale in a right way, in a coordinated way. And the robots that are the processes itself, the runtime processes, the services that runs in those RPA servers or RPA station that executes our RPA processes. So those are the 3 main components of the platform. And here I want to tell you not specifically about the Gartner a magic quadrant, that it is important, But I will also like to share my experience regarding of why I chose UiPath in the past. Because before hearing about RPA, I've been working for some years with solutions related to business automation, from document imaging, intelligence OCR, and also data integration. And when RPA appears, when the different solutions, different vendors, it was quite difficult for me to choose. I wanted to become an specialist, and what I saw was this. UiPath was an easy to use tool that also solved complex scenarios. So the easy to use, you have the combination, a great balance of easy to use and resolve the possibility to solve complex problems. So this was a great point. The training offering, this is very important. In the past, I worked with tools with many difficulties to get access to the proper training, and I think many of my partners and colleagues have experienced the same. So have the availability of a complete training offering is a great thing. Also, the availability of a community license for developers and also for small companies, because large companies will have the budget to buy RPA licenses, but the small companies, what about them? Well, community license can be used for small companies. So if you are a developer and you are working in a small company, you can use UiPath community. And if you are working in a large company, it can buy UiPath licenses. So the market is bigger for developers for different opportunities about places where we can work. And also the company's vision. I think I think I'm aligned with the company's vision, specifically regarding about listening to the community, listening to the customer and the developers, and I'm continue seeing that, and that is also a great thing. That's why I'm finalizing the presentation with this, talking about the community. The community offers a lot of opportunities. There is a very active forum, a comprehensive documentation, the blog, a use cases repository. Well, we mentioned also about the training offering. It is free. UiPath Academy is free. And now we also have the courses in different languages. And it's very useful, very friendly, and they are improving constantly. The network also, UiPath promotes a network, and this is we can see this in all around the world. Events like this, like local events, global events. Diana mentioned about the summer school, for example, that is planned for the next weeks, and a lot of programs to improve development skills or business skills, also to use RPA for the benefits of your organization or your company or your startup, or for you as an independent professional. So the community is very big and is constantly working to help you achieve your goals. Sorry, I was not presenting that part. This was the slide. Well, just to finish, we will share some links or our contact emails also, because we want to listen specifically this community and the different topics that you want to cover in future events. So please let us know about your ideas, about your suggestions, about what you need. So here we are in the question and answer part, and here we are to help you and answering what you need.
Hey, Nick, so you mentioned that you're just getting started on RPA. This summer school program that's coming up, it starts on August 2nd. There's going to be like a 4-night session in America on Studio X and a 4-night session on Studio. So that might be something really good that you join, just to get a little bit more familiarity. They actually take you through some courses. It's pretty popular session, and they only run it once a year. So that might be of interest to you. And then the other thing is, if you could list in the chat or just talk to us about topics you're interested in. Typically what I do is I'll bring on in the chapter meetings experts who can talk about things like document understanding or, test automation. We have a test automation series coming up with the MVPs that should be really good. That's also starts in August. And so it's important for us, and that's why we're holding these sessions, to understand kind of where you're at, what your needs are, and then just really want you to be part of the team. We have, like Gabriel said, an MVP on the phone. Sai has a lot of experience working with one of our partner companies, so we're building basically a safe place for people to come and share ideas and talk and just kind of let us know how we can help you personally.
I would love to hear more about like the top packages people use in their projects. I don't know if there's like a list that shows the top downloaded packages, UiPath downloads. But I know.
So do you know which packages you're referring to? Or are you talking about
just
the products?
Really like widely used. Like I used a G Suite that lets me log into Google Sheets, and that was a huge game changer, because then I could, my company doesn't use Excel very much. It uses Google Sheets, being a Google Workspace company. So being able to like read and write from that. And I'm really curious if there's anything else that will just really add on to a project when I started.
Okay. When talking about packages, well, you have to think that a studio comes with a lot of activities, and a good thing to do is to, when analyzing every process, to search if there are specific activities to solve your steps needed in the process. So, as you mentioned, if you want to interact with Google Sheet, well, to think, what is the best way to interact with Google Sheet? Is the best way to record a UI automation process that uses the screen, or it is better to use an background activity that works specifically using an API, because that activity is meant to be used for that purpose. So that is something that you always have to question for yourself when analyzing a need of when designing a process. And and there are many packages. There are a lot, really a lot. So there's no, I think there's no list. You can mention many of them. I've used many. Some of them I have used them once, but that particular process with that
Yeah, do you
package
want to talk a little
solved me.
bit maybe about the marketplace?
Yes, yes, the marketplace, but also searching in the managed packages from Studio. I think you have a Studio installed, because if you mention that is because you know.
Yeah, I was curious if like there was like a top 10 though, like a top 10 used on
Okay.
most.
Well, in my experience, when teaching for beginners, for example, PDF is one of them. Yeah. Um, Office Office 3 365 is the other. G Suite, FTP, Web API for interacting with APIs is very important. Also, if you are a developer, you will need it a lot, and it is useful, very useful. What else?
Yeah, just for
Browser
the
activities. Mhm. Go ahead, Dan.
Yes. There, Diana also shared the link for the marketplace. There you have some of the packages that are offered by officially by UiPath, and also by the community, and also by the vendors that develop activities for the use with their systems, like Google, like Microsoft, and so on. But there are a lot. I think the important thing is to check, to analyze the possibilities where you are analyzing your process before starting to work.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I do have one other question or something I'd like covered in the future, and that'd be like where IT would factor into the overall process of the robots. Because I know like right now I can write, it's very simple and start to write attended robots. But to put up an unattended robot, you have to have IT to kind of set up that environment and accounts. And is that the only like role they kind of play in it, or is it?
Good question.
We're setting up the whole like robots on it? Because I know it's just want to push publish, and have it run unattended, but
So, Nick, to answer that question, it all depends on the usage and what process we are automating. For example, let me give some sample example what I'm doing right now. We have we are using both attended and unattended. So most of 95 plus percentage people are using unattended because they don't want to what do we call monitor the bots. So it is happening in the backend. So they will have their own VMs infrastructure. um, like with all the particular robot that is installed in it, so that we can schedule it irrespective of the day or night or weekend week. So still we have like, let me take a sample example of Arrow. So we use almost close to 50 plus bots. So it is running on a day, weekday, weekend, night, morning, doesn't matter. Okay, and few process we have on attended automation where there is some user input is required. In that case, like user need to put some input. For example, any P1 number, any data, something bot is missing, and bot wants the data to take it to the next step. So it's all depends on the usage and what process you are going to automate. It your need. So yeah, it's all about the usage and need. Yeah.
great, thank you.
Mhm.
That's,
Yeah, it definitely you have to talk to the infra team to set up for an attended or unattended automation. You need a separate VM virtual machine. I need to install robot assistant and robot and all those stuff. Yeah.
And lately, UiPath introduced the use of cloud robots also.
Yeah.
Particularly, I haven't tested them yet, but this is that is other possibility. Mhm.
And Nick, one more important thing is UiPath Academy. If you go to UiPath Academy, you will learn from each activity. You will learn from each topic, from discovery to monitoring. You will have a lot of courses in that, and you can learn it. So they explain in detail, and they have some sample exercises. I personally learned a lot from UiPath Academy. So if you want to do a basic certification, they have courses. If you want to know understand what is Studio X, they have the courses. So you can go there and enroll into that course, and you can learn it. You can learn attended automation in detail, and you can learn about infra, how they set up. So what is the details that are required? So for a business analyst, there is a course. For a solution architect, there is a course. You can go through it and you can learn, understand. Yeah,
The website's really great and set up. I really like the structure.
absolutely. Yeah,
And
even
then
I liked it.
do you
Sorry,
guys
go.
want to talk a little bit about the forum and how valuable that is to ask questions? And we have like over 1.5 million people who are involved.
Yes, we are a lot. We are a lot. When you post in the forum, you will see that in just minutes you will have an answer.
Exactly.
And many more than one.
And
Maybe
the
more
nice,
than one. Yes.
the nice thing too is that you can watch what other people are asking and then learn
Yes.
from the responses they get. So you can participate, you can learn from what other people are asking, you can ask anything you want. And we have we have over 100 MVPs this year that all monitor that, in addition to people from UiPath. So, it's a great way to find out if you have a simple question or even a complex question, send it out there and people will respond.
Yeah, they'll share a sample code as well. You can download and you can explore. So how they resolve that issue. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, the only time I've been to the forum is through Google searching any error.
Yeah, it's
So-
a
Yes.
great thing to sign up
Yes.
for and kind of monitor yourself. It'll help you learn faster, I think.
Okay, I will definitely do that. Thank you.
One last recommendation, Nick, is if you are thinking about running unattended processes, my recommendation is to learn how to use robotic enterprise framework. You will find that on the academy. A robotic enterprise framework gives you a framework to build processes that are resilient. It has solved a lot of parts like error handling. So the thing is, when running an unattended process, you want the robot to do all it can do. So you don't want your robot to stop. You don't want the robot to continue working, even if there is an exception. There is one step that it couldn't do. You want it to continue, and the framework gives you that and other things. So it is very important if you are thinking of running unattended processes, check those courses.
Okay.
We may help you in the future if there is an event related to framework. It's a common topic that usually the community asks, and it's a recommendation. Yes.
Okay. I've just been throwing everything in a try catch, so I'll try that enterprise.
Yes. Well, framework has try catch in all the parts. So it has solved that part. But even though you can have your own try catch to perform alternative steps for your for the situation you got. So I recommend that. In my case, it changed my mind in terms of developing processes.
Okay, I'll definitely start them all up.
I think Sai will agree with that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So RE framework is like revolution. So like after introducing RE framework, I think people started seeing a lot of advantages because we are able to handle a lot of exceptions, and we can retry. For example, if it's sometimes some issue happens, we can retry and make it work. So instead of again redoing manually, we can use the RE framework. Yes.
Great. So we'll probably have another chapter meeting in Denver in the next couple of months, right?
Yes, Diana.
And then you should
So
find out about that, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the email.
Absolutely.
Great. I look forward to it.
Perfect.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick, for joining, and for Gabrielle and Sai for presenting today. And Nick, if you have any suggestions on, topics you'd like for the future or anything, why don't we put our emails in the chat box so that you can reach out to us and let us know.
Okay, I will definitely.
Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording.
Okay.